first thought. Submit spirit to form matter. Our celestial humanity arrives, awake in the dream. An inception of our reality. So we live, we love, and then there is music. So we dance, we sing, we pray, we reflect, we return. In the infinite in between, the now and that was faces dance in our dreams. Some familiar, some a dissonant leader of cosmic composition. In the irrelevance of this time, we realize the passion of the random abstract, learning the lesson that the brotherhood of man is far more important than the ego of any individual. Imagination becomes the sound of thought, traveling at the speed of thought. So we paint on the canvas of our ephemeral encounters a masterpiece of memory that lives in an eternity of a child's smile.
It's in the music. Psychedelic vibratory funk pulse bleeds her pain onto hardwood floor. As she dances, she sweats trauma into the fibers of her frugal vintage superhero outfit. No one saved her. No one but her sister's circle made up of survivors and soul soldiers. She dances, barefoot, loose afro vines swinging in sporadic patterns, some sticking to forehead perspiration, the arch of her feet poetic, allowing just enough air for her to levitate when the music demands. Arch in her feet, assist arch in her back, bending in revolution, bending in rebellion, healing the memory of his unwanted off-rhythm dance into her space. All dance is not spiritual. All dance is not beautiful. All dance is not consensual. For many days, she would not dance, could not dance. She could only stand in mirrors wearing glasses with cracked lenses. She only saw segments of herself looking like guilt, looking like regret. All of the whispers from the world playing loudly in her ear. They say she wanted his dance. They say she knew what music he liked, and that she was okay with him cutting in. No code causes her tremors. Correction, this cold world causes her tremors. It's hard to see clearly images in the mirror when they are not still. Today, she awakened. It's Saturday. It's the first Saturday in years. It's the first Saturday since 5 years of Mondays have held her in patterns of deja vu. It's Saturday morning because she demanded it of the moon and the sun. It's Saturday morning, a time reserved for pancakes, cleaning house, and dancing. Right now, she is Dorothy Dandridge. She is Gregory Hines. She is Misty Copeland. Her sofa is a stage prop. Her chair is a willing partner. Her broom knows this choreography, and it's all cathartic. It's all just right. She dances, tears from her eyes on one knee with arms stretched forward, fingers wiggling while singing, "Can You Feel a Brand New Day?" And it all seems just right. The music of her soul plays healing in her mind. The music gives her permission to dance again, to clean house again, to smile while crying. And she wraps her arms around herself, sways and rocks like Anita Baker singing Rapture, lifts her head to the sky and repeats, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." She repeats, "Thank you, thank you," I say.
How you doing?
Well, today's been a day. It's been a very interesting day. I guess for posterity, I will say that today I found out that I was COVID positive for COVID-19. So I'm not sure how I feel, actually. I mean, it's been a very interesting day. It makes you think about a lot of stuff in your life.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, how's that make you feel?
I mean, at first it was frustrating because immediately it meant there were things that I was supposed to be participating in that I cannot do now. So that was hard. But I mean, I feel like whenever you have a serious issue come up in your life, it makes you kind of question like everything. I don't know. I feel like I've been here and my work has been my identity for especially these last few years. But I mean, I've been really turning 50 was like a turning point, and I really just started thinking about like who I am and what my legacy is. And well, you know, I started in the poetry community a long time ago. I moved to Detroit in '97, right? So I think I started writing in 2001. So it's been 20 years now that we've known each other. And
right.
You know, when I first started writing Diamondancer, that's who I was. I mean, I'm still her in a lot of ways, but she was the person inside me that allowed me to be able to have catharsis on a lot of things about life that I couldn't talk about as Carolyn, you know? I started writing after a bad breakup, and I had not written about having lost a child and none of that. So Diamondancer was the safe person that I could share those things with and feel like I can be her, and if people judge me, they're judging her and they're not judging me. But now I think I am a very authentic, more authentic, not that I wasn't authentic then, but I feel like I'm more authentically me, and I'm owning my name and what that means for my life. And so I feel like right now I am very much an empowered woman who is taking charge and responsibility for my whole life. And this situation I'm in right now is very much a part of that. Do I let it defeat me? Do I keep going? I'm a fighter. I'm a brazen woman who's fighting to have her life the way she wants it. So that's it. And so it's interesting, like, right? COVID will make you think about what is life. I had a conversation with my mom today because when she found out, she totally freaked out. And we got to talking about our life, and for her and our life is about what the religion we practiced together, how it defines life, right? And I think that life is more, life is a lot, but life is a gift. I think it's definitely a precious gift. And I feel like no matter what your belief structure is, that life, every belief structure has a concept about it. And I think in all of the belief structures, there's definitely something to be valued. And it's, for me, I'm now beginning to connect life with a mission and a purpose. So it just makes you think about a lot when something happens. So yeah, life, right? Yeah. Damn, this thing won't go.
Yeah, so as far as what you've been thinking of, and different things you've been dealing with, how does that affect you emotionally with different feelings and whatnot, as far as life and everything it entails, you know what I'm saying, as far as anything specifically that you that focus is a focus?
I think at this point in my life, everything's a focus. I've been living by myself for a long time, and so naturally I'm thinking about, at my age, what does the future look like as far as relationships and love and things like that. And I've become very, very appreciative of my practice, my Buddhist practice, because it really I have a different kind of a love for humanity than I did before. But I feel like love for me now is really doing all I can to live my life to help people to be happy and to be happy myself, because you really can't have one without the other. And I think that is like the ultimate expression of love, is helping people to be happy. That's a big focus for me right now. Even my work, like this jewelry and stuff like that. Yes, it's for my business, but I want to make stuff that makes people happy. I want people to feel good and feel good about themselves when they wear my art. And when I write poetry and I do music, I want to help people to connect with parts of themselves. And I think that that's love on a humanitarian level that's big. And I want to have dialogue that helps people to overcome their problems and help us to communicate better as human beings, one to the other. So that's a big part of it for me. I guess the emotions kind of all come back together to that. Like even with this COVID thing, I know I have to fight this, I have to beat this, because I have so much work left to do. I have work to do. So.
I feel you. I was listening to some of your music the other day, and I was just wondering, what was your motivation, or you like house music and you're in that genre, and you do poetry, you do art and jewelry and stuff like this, creative works. How has your music affected you? Or how has music affected you? As far as that?
Yeah. My art and music. Well, music when we were kids was like it was the one thing in tough situations that would always bring moments of joy and happiness and things like that. But when I moved here and it was so bad, and when I tell people the story about house music and how I feel like it literally saved my life, when I was introduced to it, I can't even say I found it. My sister introduced me to house music in 1997, and I can't see myself ever being at a point in time in my life without it. House music specifically, but music in general. Like now, 20 years later, I'm very much attached to jazz. Like Miles Davis is my mood all the time lately, and music is many things for me. It's a comfort. It helps me sleep sometimes. It definitely helps me work, but house music saved my life, and that's I'll go to the mat against anybody who tries to take that away from me. I joke around that I gave up a marriage over house music, but it almost was literally like that. You know, that's not a battle that anybody will ever win in this lifetime. I don't think.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah. Well, I had me a cup of coffee and.
Coffee?
Yeah.
At this hour? Oh, that's right. Coffee doesn't make you sleep, though. I mean, it doesn't make you keep you awake.
No, not at night. At night, it kind of puts me to sleep or relaxes me. So I drink it at night, too. But, there's some beautiful jewelry you're making there.
Thank you. This is some of the new stuff. Hang on a second. I will turn, as soon as I close this ring, I'll turn it so you can see it.
Okay.
This year, I really wanted to make some pieces that I felt were artistically, that spoke to my artistic integrity, but were more connected with what's happening with the people and real life. And so I studied the trends and stuff to look for like color and pattern and things like that. And what I came up with was kind of like this industrial feeling, funky collection of stuff.
What's going on with this piece here?
This is, I don't have a name for these yet, but this is macrame cord and colorful wood beads. And it felt so youthful, but it still had like an industrial edge that kind of speaks to where we are with, we're coming out of, I can't even say coming out of, we're still very much in the middle of a pandemic, but people are still trying to live and they're trying to have fun and self-express. And I feel like these materials kind of combine that. The macrame, the beads, the piece that I'm wearing is on like rubber tubing with metal. I did some stuff with agates, large stones and things like that, because I think that it speaks to the time that we're in. People really want to have fun and they want to self-express and they want to be colorful and bold, but there's still a hardness, like an industrial kind of thing that we're going through as humanity. And so this whole series that I'm doing this year for spring is that's really what the collection speaks to. And these are so fun. Things make you feel like kids that are outside having hopscotch. Remember we used to throw the hopscotch squares on the sidewalk and throw the rock and then and it's just fun. The kids playing with blocks and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I felt like. And so that's where we are with this. Having a good time. I feel good about what I'm doing right now. The work is doing really, really nice.
That's what's up. Yeah. I like your work, I think it's unique. And you're getting a lot of trouble calling stuff avant-garde nowadays, especially for people that are beyond that like yourself. But I think it's a term of endearment instead of something to scoff at. Whenever people talk about different things, there's so much that's been lost in the world because of people have passed away or just changing of times without thorough exposure to it. There's a lot of stuff that's going down. We lost a lot of people last year in the world. And so the world, we need to cherish each other's realities. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people, a lot of people didn't get to tell their story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so now it's like, what do? Everybody's quarantined or whatever. We have these conversations and whatnot. And so it's like, the humanity is coming out in everybody. Some people are still chasing the paper. Everybody got to pay bills. Everybody got to pay bills. But I think what everybody needs to recognize is that, whatever level you're on, like me personally, I like to have my level as something attainable for everyone, and your blessings come and your blessings come along with your gifts and how much you give, to the universe, because it has to be spontaneous and improvisational. You can't force it, you can't really expect anything in return. You just got to give up yourself. There's one thing I like to do, and I'm not trying to say this to be seen of men, but one thing that makes me feel good, because that's why I do it, is like whenever I get blessed with something I was working hard for, I like to give to somebody else that doesn't have, like everybody sees the homeless people out on the street, and if it was up to me, I would try to go from one end to another to fulfill their desires to get them out of the hole they're in. But but all of us don't have that capability to invest in somebody like that, because then you would have to individually invest in the person to get them to a place of recovery or happiness or whatever. You can show them the way, or just doing a kind deed is not, I won't say good enough, I'll say, but sufficient to fulfill a basic desire to help in the right direction. And you never know, the one little thing you may do may take someone to another dimension of a reality for themselves. So that's how I feel about it.
I've always appreciated your generosity, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things, how you are able to find ways. I mean, it's rare. I mean, people do good deeds and they give, especially during certain times of the year or, things like that. But it's so rare to find people who look for opportunities to be able to bless other people. And I think that's one of the many reasons that make you a very extraordinary individual. And I love that about you.
One thing about that is, my parents instilled in me the values of compassion and love, and I used to query about why others weren't that way or may not be as like that or whatever, but it's not for me to query, it's for me to be, and when your parents, especially when they transcend and leave this realm, you really start to think about what they taught you and why it's so important. The good lessons and the bad lessons. Whatever you learned from, and this goes to say not just for parents, but for every person that's in your life. Whatever you learn from them is valuable, because there's really no mistakes about anything. There's only lessons to be learned. I like, you mentioned Miles, I like to thing that Miles said about music. You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, the perfectionism of the arts and music and art and writing and all different kinds of things. You know, they talk about, oh, you know, if you're in the music, you gotta know this, you gotta know that, and you gotta learn all this, and if you don't know, and I don't judge another artist, I don't care what level they're on. You know, a lot of people think the music that's out today is garbage, but a lot of people think the music of yesterday was garbage. You know, a lot of people have different opinions. I try not to think negatively about anything, because if you're putting forth effort to be creative, for whatever objective you have, it brings a balance to the universe to express yourself based off of what has happened to you in your life. And I try to meet the artists where they are instead of where I think they should be or where I want them to be, because it's just not, it's not cool, man. Because I like to give respect regardless to whom or what. You know, I used to think a lot of stuff, you know, whether you talk about rap or hip hop or anything, a lot of people have a lot of harsh words. Sometimes a lot of elders, they don't like it, or a lot of accomplished and skilled and trained musicians, they shoot it down because it's not on their level or whatever, what have you. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, look, man, everybody's creating. You know, if they did what they did to get to where they got to, there's something to be learned. You know, I mean, the world of music is full of, you know, who you know and do this and do that to get where you want to go. You know, whether it's negative or positive or whatever, what have you. And I'm not really about all that. I'm about just the everyday people expressing themselves, especially creative people in the arts. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And I appreciate all artists, regardless to whom or what. Even if it's something I may not agree with that they're expressing, the fact that they expressed it and they were bold enough to put it out and express how they felt, that's a part of the map to the stars.
Right. I think it's pretty amazing that we can have such opportunities to express here. Everybody doesn't have that opportunity, and what's I think even more sad is that more people that have the opportunity don't recognize it and don't take advantage of it. So I'm going to do my best to use my opportunities and whatever gifts I have to, lost my other flyers here. One of the pitfalls of being on camera live. But yeah, you have to, I think gratitude, I guess, is overall the theme for me right now. Gratitude. I'm grateful for a lot. My gifts, my art, friends like you, the fact that, you know, things could be a lot worse. But things are actually pretty darn good. Yeah.
Keep that focus.
That's pretty dope too. I meant to tell you that earlier. I like it.
Thanks.
One cowrie show. I love that.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, I like what you got going on there. That's interesting. It's captivated my attention for a while.
You working on this?
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and it's just
turn it for you, and I'll show you what's going on the back if it'll show up. So I laid these pieces. Actually, I sketched them out. I bought this cord almost a year ago. Like, in fact, it might be a year ago because I think I bought it before I moved here.
Okay.
And then the beads I bought at the same time. And so this concept has been kind of playing around for a while, but I never really knew how I was going to execute it. And so sketches started happening, and then, you know, the layout happened for the beads and stuff, and then I had to position everything, and then I had to turn around, and then I had to put the metal pieces on the ends. And then now what's happening is that they are going on the closure. So the ends are now, I'm now connecting to the closure. So that's what's happening with these. The pins are holding these things in place, and then I'm now positioning them so that I can finish up the closure. So
are you sewing them onto the closure, or how are you attaching them to the closure?
These little rings that I keep dropping on the floor, they open up, and then I connect them.
Oh, that's why you got the pliers.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm connecting the rings to the end of the pieces, and then they connect to the slider bar. And then I will put these wonderful sparkly crimp beads on the ends so that they stay. I'll show you when it's already done. This is a longer one.
Okay.
So this goes on it's long, so it's like, sits longer down. But when it's done, it looks like this.
Oh, okay.
So
that's neat.
Thank you. I'm not picky about my hardware. When I first started making jewelry, almost 20 years ago now, a lady told me at an art fair I was vending at, she said, the hardware is the difference between your stuff looking cheap or not. And you should be, if you're gonna sell your stuff and you're gonna promote your stuff as an artist, you need to pay attention to what you're doing with hardware. So I'm real picky about the hardware that I use and the findings that I use for work, for stuff. And so, that you want to see some more new stuff?
Yeah.
These are agate necklaces that I just finished today.
Wow, those are nice.
So they're on really cool, like that industrial rubber tubing I was telling you about. And then the clasps, they unhook and then they slide out. Really neat. Beautiful hardware on these. They're super clean, very minimalist. The colors are gorgeous. And I think bracelets too.
Oh, those are nice.
I'm really excited about this collection as well. I think this is part of the new series of stuff. So all of this needs to be shot and put up on the site. So that'll be the projects that I'm working on. Hopefully next week. I'm going to try my best.
Oh, you got your website up?
Huh?
You got your website up?
I do have my website up. The new one's not up, but the site that I've had up is up. But the revamp is not up yet, but the site is up.
What's the web address?
www.carolynferrari.art.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out.
Yep. So that's my life right now. Working and trying not to let stupid illnesses get me down.
Never that.
Huh?
Never that.
Never that, exactly.
Just plenty of turmeric, ginger, honey, lemon, cayenne, all that. The bugs hate.
You are our medicine man. You've always been that for the community, the medicine man. Just a couple of other pieces of really cool hardware. Some stuff that I'm kind of...
Yeah, I've always liked your clasps and stuff that you use to accentuate the art piece that you make. Because that's what made it unique, a lot of stuff.
Kind of targeted towards men. Some of the stuff, I've got some heavier stones that are more neutral colors and things like that I feel might be targeted towards men who wear art or might be interested in checking out some new types of things to adorn themselves with.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm super excited. This is the color that I'm working up next. This gorgeous yellow color is just amazing. And, this is the yellow is like solar plexus, all this yummy area here, that energy of really happiness and where you kind of identify with that kind of space. And so I love this color. So I'm working up a series of pieces with this color cording in different color beads. So that'll be the next set of things that I'll be getting done. Hopefully I'll be able to get all this done this weekend because I really would like to move on to other stuff. But the collection has to be made. So these haven't even been put together yet. The ends haven't been put on there, but you can now see the process. The ends have to be finished, and then put the ends on there, and then the beads go on, and then we close them up. I position them on the mannequin and then close them up. So this is the first time I've really shared any of my process from making. I'm usually pretty guarded about what I do with what I'm creating.
I appreciate that.
So I trust you. And I guess whoever's going to see this will see it. So by the time it gets out, the pieces will be done.
The one thing about it is the uniqueness of you can never be replicated.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing about everything in the artist. The uniqueness of you will always shine through. And there's no such, you shouldn't have to worry about being a perfectionist according to anybody else's standards, because the uniqueness and perfection that you already are is a gift and a blessing to the universe.
Thank you.
Because you've never been here before in this form.
Right.
So that's something to cherish.
What did you put in your coffee today?
I had earlier today I had a hazelnut mocha latte.
Okay.
With almond milk. I like that a lot. And when I'm at home, I'll get some hot cocoa and put some hazelnut creamer. And that's one thing I learned from you, is that using that International Delight, I was able to cut out a lot of sugar, because it has enough sugar in it. You don't need to add sugar to it. And it's been perfect. It's been perfect. I like that. So.
Yeah, cutting out refined sugar for me was a big deal. And even now, I mean, I don't keep it in my house. I don't keep sugar in my house. It's very rare. Honey sometimes, but it's so rare. People come to my house and I'm like, oh, I don't have sugar, so you have to bring it yourself or figure out something else.
What'd you cook today?
Huh?
What'd you cook today?
What did I cook today? Earlier today, I finished up some chicken and broccoli soup that I had made yesterday.
Well, that sounds
good. And then
good.
for dinner, I had, I needed something quick because I needed to finish working, so I made scrambled eggs on toast with spinach artichoke.
Wow,
delicious.
Fancy smancy.
Huh?
Fancy smancy.
Yeah, it was good. I like to try different flavors and things like that. And so the spinach artichoke was it it was better than regular butter. It was a different kind of flavor. So yeah, it was good. It was really good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I'm gonna quit dropping my.
All right, I'm gonna go in here and
about to leave me now, huh?
get some stuff done. I'm gonna get me I think I'm gonna have another cup of coffee. I still got some food I gotta finish eating that I bought from La Palma over there on Canfield and
Ooh, did you get shish kebabs?
no, I got Galaya and I had beef, chicken, and lamb in it, mixed all up on top of hummus, and I had some lentil soup to go with it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I do miss.
Yeah, they got really good lamb chops too.
I miss Detroit food. I miss Detroit restaurants, and I mean, I'm sure that there's a restaurant scene here in GR, but because of COVID, I've not been able to explore.
Right.
It started in the spring, right when I was getting ready to start getting around. So,
okay.
Yeah, that'll be one of the things I'm looking forward to this year.
Okay.
But I miss Detroit for that. Lots of good food.
That's
and Belle Isle.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to keep you.
Okay.
Thank you for this time.
Yeah, I'll holler at you later.
Okay, sweetie. Okay. Peace.
What does it take to make a Ferrari? Vision. From sketch ideas, choosing the perfect components, thoughtful details, precision placement, timeless craftsmanship. The results speak for themselves. Where will you go in your Ferrari?